Hi goddesses, and welcome to another stash post, and today is the exciting one. It's the purple stash post, or to be more exact, half the purple stash post, because this that you can see here, and you can only see like that much of the whole, is just half of the purples that I own. I'm going to start talking whilst I'm prattling, as we're never going to get through. So purples is the colour that I own most of. That will not come as a remote surprise to any of you who are familiar with my blog. When and how did I become a polishaholic? I don't really know. A purple polishaholic. The love of purple for me started once I got into polishes. Probably started with OPI, Parlez-Vous OPI, and realising how well purple matched my albino-ish skin tone. And I think it went from there, and it soon, well, as you can see, it just got a little bit crazy. So all I'm doing at the moment is moving all the glitters to one side, because we'll do the glitters in a minute. And what we should then be left with, although I have a nasty feeling that we won't be, is all the lilacs. I am pretty sure that all the lilacs are in here, but there's also some that aren't lilac, which I think have only landed in here because there's not actually any room in the other box. So yes, lots and lots and lots of purples. Let's try and put some of the darker ones up at the top. For me, purple has the most variation of any polish shade that is out there. I don't think you get the breadth of colour, of majesty, of just oh la la with any of the other colours. Even blues and greens, I just don't think they cover the spectrum as well as purple does. That there's just something about purple that lends itself to almost any type of creation. And as I've talked about in my blog post, you can have purples or lilacs which lean very, very blue, or ones that lean very, very brown. So you almost get two for your money all the time, and you've got a blue spectrum and a brown spectrum, and they're both just utterly gorgeous. Now I thought there was one more polish in here, but maybe there's not. So let us, without further ado, plunge into some of the gorgeousness. Let's do these dark ones that are lurking at the back. Let's get rid of those first of all. So, Max Factor Fantasy Fire. Do you remember nearly 3 years ago, this was, it was a panic trying to get hold of this. Basically, it's a topper that you put on polishes that gives it an amazing flaky kind of shimmer. For me, actually, it's overrated. I've kept it because it's famous, but I don't really use it. I've then got a nice, pretty and polished thermal called Day Tripping. This is it in its cold state. Its warm state is a nice bright pink, and I really like that one. We've then got a Jacava one. This was sent to me for review. This one's called Blueberry Muffin, and it's gorgeous. It just goes on really well. It's very, very similar to a picture polish I was sent for review called Wisteria, and we should probably only keep one of those little darlings. And then this is another thermal. This is Fascinated by Superficially Colour Lacquer, one of my great friends. She makes fabulous stuff. This one, I can't remember whether this one was purple to pink or purple to something else, but great, utterly wonderful. Right, let's pick out some slightly unusual ones before we get to the ones that are very much just the creams. So first of all, we've got Mink Mitten from Manglaze. This is a nice kind of metallic, darker than a lilac, but it's very interesting to use as a base. Great for tape manis because it just dries so quickly. We've then got here two beautiful multi-chromes. OPI, not like the movies. When this was released, this was the start of my Polishaholica. Ah, it's a timepiece. And Zoya Kai, which I absolutely love. The difference between them, they're both the same in that they are oil slicks with a lot of green and a lot of purple in. But the OPI has a lot more silver, so it's a lot paler. Kai has more drama. The OPI is more subtle, so I like them both. I did own something else at one time as well, which I destashed because it was very, very similar, but I can't remember what. Another metallic lilac, Sally Hansen Pedal to the Metal. Slightly different colour to the Man Glaze, and again, this is great for stamping, tape manis, or as a base. We also have my Contrary polish. I love Contrary, and it makes me laugh because when she came out, bless her, I was like, God, how dull are you? There's not a single glitter. And now it's kind of almost a byword for my favourite type of polish, just cream with a bit of magic in. So this one is Play Me. There's a couple of others lurking around, probably in the other box, but that's just beautiful. Right, let's look at a couple that I maybe don't like that much. I'm going to get rid of this one. This is another Toma Mood Changing polish. Never worn it. That one can go over there. Oh, a lovely Barriel. This one is Jessie's Champagne Toast. It's slightly metallic, slightly cold, but then with those fuchsia flecks in it, which just make it utterly, utterly gorgeous. So quite a fan of that one. I've got another mood changer over here. Now, I'm keeping this one because I'm quite smitten by the colour that it is in the bottle. Also, this is sad, isn't it just like the old Urban Decay bottle from the 90s? So that's why I've kept that one. Yeah, no good logical reason whatsoever. And this is lovely too, Layla Soft Touch. So this goes on matte, a bit like a suede. And if you can see, there's lots of shimmer in there. When you gloss it up, this is gorgeous as well. It's called Oh Free. For God's sake, people, it's not that hard to come up with names, but it's lovely. So that then leaves us with this pile, and as you can see, we've probably got a variety of tones. So let's just try and put the bluey ones separate to the browny ones, and then we can have a look at what we've got. Okay, so first of all, this is an odd one out, so we'll do this one. This is Dury Grape Swirl. Very nice. It's not quite metallic, but it's definitely got pearliness to it. This is a lovely contrast polish to use when you're using 4 shades of the same colour, because it's just got that little bit of variation. I don't use it much, but I do love the Dury bottle. It's one of my favourites, which is no reason to keep it, but moving on. Right, this is a bit interesting. So the utterly famous Parlez-Vous OPI, and then a very old Revlon streetwear polish. You'll notice as we go through these actually that there's a lot of separation of my purples, and according to Lulu from Elevation Polish, purple is the colour most likely to separate because of one of the ingredients in it. So don't worry if it happens to your purples, just shake them. So this Revlon streetwear is called Jelly, which seems a strange name, and it's got a little bit of shimmer in it as well, but it is quite similar. Shockingly similar, a little bit darker than Parlez-Vous OPI. So I don't know, might be easier for you to find that one, might not be. We then have here Nails Ink Lounge Square, which is lovely. I might have to do a comparison post on these three, mightn't I? And that, again, if we just compare it to Parlez-Vous OPI, quite similar. I would say this has got a little bit more white to it than this one. And then, no, that's different. And then this Leighton Denny one is in a very similar tone, but laced with shimmer. That one's called Supernova. Loved it when I bought it nearly 3 years ago. Haven't worn it since. I might have to correct that. So, okay then. So, if you're desperate to get your hands on Parlez-Vous OPI, I know it's not always easy to find, you might want to try Nails Inc. Lounge Square. As I say, they're not identical, but they are pretty damn close. So let's put those safely over there. Right, we then have a couple that are then a few clicks lighter. So if we just go back to the OPI, I guess that kind of makes an ombre. So you've got the OPI, then a little bit paler and warmer. You've got Greige Gardens, which is gorgeous. And then this is Delphinium, which actually is probably my most used lilac. If I'm going to do a lilac base, this is usually the one that I will reach for. Really, really love that. And then paler still, if you want to complete your ombre, whoops, there you are, this is a Nicole by OPI, Am I Making Myself Claire? So there you go, you've got a lovely ombre set going on there, which the Greige Garden does look a bit bluer than the others, but not so much in real life. So that's those. Right, we then have my all-time favourite, Planks a Lot, just to show you next to Parlez-Vous OPI, leaning blue, leaning brown. There's a lot of brown to Parlez-Vous, so that is lovely. Now, if you compare Planks a Lot to this China Glaze, which is called No Name Yet. It's a very old bottle, so I hope it has got a name now. They are extremely similar. They're not identical, as I think you can even see through the camera, but they are very, very similar. We've then got the gorgeous Zoya Caitlin, one of those must-have polishes. It's a little bit grey, a little bit lilac, a little bit blue, just utterly sublime. If we then compare it to Budapest, yeah, You're Such a Budapest by OPI. This is a lot brighter and whiter, although it's in the same kind of tone pool. And then Charlotte Muse by Nails Inc., which is also a lovely colour. And again, they almost work a little bit like an ombre. I guess the Nails Inc. is a closer sister to the Zoya than the OPI is. You could argue, is the Nails Inc. dead on for the Zoya? I don't think it is quite. I think it's a little lighter and brighter. But that is a classic. That's absolutely beautiful, that one. A little odd one on its own, an Essence. I do love their chubby bottles. This one is Oh My Glitter, and this is a medium violety colour with lots of violet shimmer in it, so that's quite pretty. And then we have the super pale ones. So if we just bring those two back in as comparison pieces. Now, you'll see there's quite a range, isn't there? If you compare this one to this one, this China Glaze almost looks pink compared to that one, but it's not. It's just the spectrum of lilac. Let's take this one out first, because this is one of the first polishes I lost my heart to. This is Mystic Lilac by Sally Hansen. Lovely creamy shade, and then it's got this crazy green shimmer in it. It's lovely. Really love it. It's like the grunged up version of lilac. Really good stuff. So let's put that over there. Right, let's then compare these two. So we're looking here at Zoya Megan, who is lovely, and she's definitely paler than those two. And the China Glaze one is Light as Air, another of their famous ones. Now, there is daylight between them. You can argue, are they all essential? No. Even I know they're not, but they're pretty. They're pretty. I did very much like the Nicole, so probably if I was going to get rid of one, it would be the China Glaze, but obviously China Glaze is still a great polish. Then this one, which is bluer, this is Agent Lavender. You can see lots of separation in there. I'm sure a few minutes of mimicking a masturbation action will sort that one out. Lovely. And then a Catrice. So this one is quite pale, but again, lots and lots of lovely shimmer in that one. And this is called Lilac Trick, because it's a lilac that's electric, and it's lovely. Okay, so they're my lilacs. Let's just get all those out of the way. And then let's bring you the purple glitters, of which you will be astonished to know there are a shitload. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to briefly stop the camera, because what I don't want to do is run out with 4 polishes left to go through with you. So I'm going to pause it in a mo, and then we'll be back and we will have some happy time. Just aren't they lovely? Okay, see you in a mo.